Well, hello everyone, and thanks for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. I have a funny story to tell you in a little bit. But first of all, I want to thank the people that commented since my last video. I really appreciate it. If you take the time to write me a comment, then I feel it's only proper for me to acknowledge you, and I answer every single comment that is written. You never know. Maybe one day my channel will be so big. Oh, whose channel was I watching? Oh my gosh, yes. Um, Gail Augustinelli, my good friend who I'm going to get to see in a month at her crafting retreat. I was watching her video and 250 people had commented on her video. If I ever get that many comments, I will not be able to answer each one personally, but with the amount I get, at least right now, I can answer each and every one of you. And I'll try, even if I ever get big like Gail. So, anyway, you guys will not believe what happened. So, in my last video, I did an update with Down the Garden Path. And I was talking to my sister today. It was uploaded today. And we were talking, and she asked me about something I should have said in my video. And I said, well, I did say it, Sherry. And she said, you did? And she said, yes. Um, or I said, yes, I did say it. And she said, well, I'll have to go back and watch it again because I didn't see it. So I thought to myself, well, maybe I didn't mention it. So I went to my own YouTube channel and I turned on the video and I was watching it. And after 20 minutes, it abruptly stopped. And normally I say, thanks for so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next Monday. It just stopped, like boom. And I don't know what happened. It didn't upload except for the 20 minutes of it. And so, thank goodness it's still on my phone, because in the video, I show you how I did this little tire swing, and I talk about some other things. And there was even some um, stories about my trip to Singapore. There was pictures of, monkeys and crocodiles. And then there was some important, like an important announcement in that video. So I'm going to go back, pull it off my phone, re-edit it, and put it up on YouTube. I don't know if I will put it up before Monday or wait until Monday, but anyway, I apologize. You guys must have thought, well, that was rude of her just in the video like that. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and we'll continue with the Down the Garden Path video. So I don't do a lot of cooking when I'm taking care of them anymore. I'm too busy crafting. Poor kids, they're like, oh, grandma doesn't leave the craft table even when she's babysitting us. Yeah, I think this is going to be okay. Like I said, I'll have to put lots of bright colors in for that bird. So coming up soon is my retreat to Montana with Gail Augustinelli. need to start getting some stuff together for that. I've pretty much decided that I'm going to work on Christmas journals. I don't want Christmas to come upon me so fast that I'm rushing to make a journal for it for December daily. So I think that's what I'm going to work on. So I have to pull all my Christmas stuff. Now I'm liking this. I think this is starting to look like a bird's nest. So the retreat that Gail puts on, she puts two of them on, but the one in that I go to, it's called a subby retreat, and it's all people that have been subscribing to her. Most of us went last year, and so she's letting us come again. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. I think that's sewn down in there. You can't hardly see it very well, but hopefully the bird will bring it up a little bit. So I'm going to tie this off, get my bird ready, get my thread ready for that. While I get organized for sewing on my bird, I wanted to show you the assortment of silk threads that I bought in Italy. Now, most of them are from Italy, but I did notice a couple of brands said Germany. And this little case, it's just perfect how it fits those threads beautifully. So there's about 5 to 6 spools of thread in each little pocket. I got this little case from Hobby Lobby. It's a nice little sewing case. Let me just show you real quick. So it's got a couple of bigger pockets here in the front, and then this pocket here. So this is where I keep my pens and rubber things to help pull thread through. And then an embroidery hoop here, and then it zips up completely. So it's a nice little travel bag for threads. So I'm gonna start by putting a French knot, and I'm gonna have to turn this like this so I can see it good. I'm gonna put a French knot right where the little bird's eye is. So I'm just going to come up right there, and I'm using a black thread. I think I'm going to do 4. That's pretty significant, but at least it holds the bird in place. And then I'm going to tie that off. It's difficult not having your craft supplies with you, because as I was working on the nest, I thought to myself, you know, I have all those little strings, but I know I have other things that I could have used. Okay, so now I'm going to take the black thread off, and this is a really fine needle, and I'm going to come in here with this. It's kind of a gray or taupe color, And I'm going to put in just a few stitches on the tail here and right in there. One thing that we did in Singapore that was fun is we took a riverboat through this was in Malaysia, out in the rainforest, and we took this boat down the river and we were able to see different birds, a crocodile. We looked for I think they're called a pygmy elephant. We looked for that. Didn't see that, but the crocodiles were fun. Lots and lots of monkeys. So here's a picture of a monkey, and then there's a picture of the crocodile. And then I have a video of a monkey jumping in the trees, so don't be scared.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Look at them there. Yeah. What colors?
Yeah.
Video again.
So I'm just going to do, I think, just a straight stitch. This is very, very thin fabric. Oh, yep, it went right through it. Let's see, what do I want to do? Maybe I can come up here. Okay, that helped. Okay. Is that Judson? No. Oh, it's Gavin again. Good morning, Gavin. You did? Did you sleep good, dear? Yeah. Good. This is very, very fragile piece of fabric because it's so tiny. See, when I come up through it, it almost frays it. You know what I might do? Let's just try to couch it down and see if how that looks. Because every time I bring that needle up through there, it just splits that small piece of fabric. So I'm going to continue working on this and then we'll go from there. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. So I finished up the tree pretty much, except for I may add a little bit of a darker color of some cherry blossoms here. They're very pale, and so I want that to jump out a little bit more. The other thing I did with the bird is I took just a single strand of black thread and went around my bird so that he would show up a little bit better. Let's see, I added a couple of bees here and one more butterfly. And then the other thing I did, I got this little pot from Shelby, who was on my tour to Italy, and I stitched that on there because one of our prompts was pots, flower pots. And then the other prompt was your favorite flower, and my favorite flower are roses. So it was my first attempt at using ribbon, silk ribbon, to make roses, and I kind of like that. I may put another one here, but I'm holding off for now until I kind of see a little bit more. But the other thing that I want to do is, let me show you here. So a while back, we had Ann Brooke did a 52 tag challenge. And this is one of my tags. It was tag number 11. And the prompt was rings. And my first thought was a tire swing. And like I said, this was really a fun tag to make. We did that in 2021. So I also wanted another tire ring on this, hanging from this tree, just because I just think it's really fun and it adds a little bit more. So what you do is you take these types of rings. You can buy them at usually any hardware store. I may have ordered mine from Amazon, or I may have gotten them from Home Depot. I can't remember, but they're rubber rings, and there's quite a few different sizes. And it's very easy to wrap your ring. So what I'm going to do is move my project out of the way so you can see. And all I have is just some black DMC, all 6 strands. And what you're going to do is you're going to need a little bit of a tail. So I'm just going to leave that like that. And you're going to take your thread. Let me make my end a little bit longer there. You're going to take your thread, and it's very easy. You just bring it up and through, and you want to make sure that the thread is behind the ring. I want to pull a little bit more. And you see how then that forms that little loop or knot. So let me help you one more time. I'm right-handed, so this thread is to the right. My tail is over here to the left. I'm holding it with my left hand, and I bring my needle up through the ring, but I make sure this thread is behind the needle. And you just pull it up and through, and that forms your knot. And then I just bring it over to the side, bunch them up close together so that you're not going to be able to see that rubber part of the ring. And you just keep going around and round and round. So I have some news. And it's really exciting news. Now, many of you know that my hospital was going to potentially close, and that still is a possibility. But what they did is they have now filed bankruptcy. And so I guess it goes before a judge. I don't know all the legal things. But we had a meeting with our union rep. We are unionized in the state of California for nurses. And we had a Zoom meeting with our union leader. And her advice was, if you are close to retirement or can retire, you should. The reason being is, at my hospital, those of us that have been there for a long time, I've been there 18 years, we actually have a pension that we did not have to contribute to. There is the potential that the nurses may lose. Now I'm going to hold my thread up to let it untangle so that I don't get it real tangled up. But there is a potential that with this bankruptcy, the hospital can terminate the pension. And I was able to see in the pension plan where it says that. So the union rep, her advice was, if you're close to retirement or can retire, you should. Now I am going to be 69 years old in a couple of weeks. So I can retire. So after meeting with HR, Human Resources, I made the decision to write a letter stating that I was going to be retiring in a 2-week period. So my retirement date, my last day to work, is June 18th. Now, I have been a nurse 46 years, a registered nurse 46 years, but I started working in a hospital when I was 16 years old. So I've been working in hospitals, I think I figured it out, it was like 53 years I've worked in hospitals. So when I talked to the HR guy, I told him, I've committed basically my whole life to taking care of others and patients, and I feel like I deserve this retirement. And he agreed. And so June 18th is my last day at my hospital. Now, I'm not totally positive that I'm done working. Number one, I believe it keeps me young, keeps me in shape, keeps me healthy. But I am going to take a few months off. I'm going to unwrap this again. I am going to take several months off just to kind of regroup and if I think I've said it before in my videos, if I do return to work somewhere, it'll be here in Arizona. I don't think I'm going to travel back and forth to California. I want to work as a hospice nurse. I feel that I'm well suited for that. I'm very grounded. My faith assures me that when we leave this mortal life, we're not done. So I think that would be a good fit for me. So anyway, that's my fantastic news. I don't know. It's very, very exciting for me. And like I said, I'm going to take several months off as I decide whether or not I'm actually going to work somewhere. I don't want to get this caught in there. I'd like to focus more on my Etsy store and my YouTube channel. And it's been difficult to do that working. So that's my news. And we are just about at the end of this ring. So the tire itself, I want to keep black, but I want to wrap or somehow attach a chain to this so that it's actually a chain hanging down from the tree. So I'm going to finish this off. I will leave a tail. See, it's getting more difficult now that it's close to here. I will leave a tail. Oops, where is that? To attach it, and then I'm just going to tie this off into a knot so that it hangs down. So I will be back with you in just a second. So I found this chain in my stash, and I think it's gonna go well. So what I've done is I've gathered 3 strands of DMC, and I've made sure that the needle and the thread can go through that chain. So what I'm going to do is come up close to that branch. I think I'll come over here a little bit more. Come up real close to that branch. I've knotted the back. Then I'm going to take the chain and just slip my needle through there so the chain is attached. And then I'm going to go down and I'm not cutting it yet because I'm not quite sure how long of a chain I need. So I'm just going to do a couple of times. I need to make sure I get through that hole. There we go. Probably once would be enough, but let's just make sure. So I've done it twice. Okay, so that's attached. I should cut how much I need. I kind of want it to really be swinging. I think I'm going to go there. I think it'll be okay. So I'm just going to snip that with my, there we go. Okay. And when you snip a chain, you are going to have one piece that you have to take off because it came off. And since I have tied this, I'm going to cut these threads shorter. Remember, I did a double knot. So let's just anchor this part down. And let's tie this off. I like my little swing. Well, I may want one chain here and one chain here. I think that's what I need to do. So I probably didn't need to thread that through, but oh well. So I'm going to go ahead and snip this. It's right in the center. Oops. Let's try that again. Okay. So now we have two chains. I think what I'm going to do is just tie a knot around it because I want it to be able to swing. Yeah. Let's just see what happens with this. Okay. Okay. So that's there. And then I want this one over here. So really all I need to do is bring this up and through, and then this one over here. And tie a knot because I want them separate. Let's just see. Does it look like a swing, you guys? Oops, sorry. I may. Boy, I wish that was tighter in there. But you know what? Maybe the tire has been split. So the other thing I could do is look into seeing about putting a little girl in there. But anyway, I like that. I think that came out okay. So I'm going to end the video here and continue on. I've got to put some flowers. Like I said, I want to put this down here. And I will see you guys next Monday. Thanks for joining me. Bye.